All right, skip the intro. Let's just get down to business. All right, if you've watched my videos before, you know who I am. Good for you. If you never watched my video before and you don't know who I am with my crappy YouTube channel, also good for you. So this is not going to be a review of All's Fair because I refuse to watch this show. And the reason is two main reasons why I refuse to watch this show. One, it stars Kim Kardashian, and Kim Kardashian is not a real actress and cannot act and does not deserve to have her own television show when there are millions of, well, not millions, thousands, or hundreds of thousands of like actually skilled actresses who do not get jobs anymore because Hollywood has forgotten about them. And two, if I watch this video, it's gonna get a viewership, which makes Hulu and Disney assume that this show is doing good and therefore it should be renewed. So I refuse to do that. I also refuse to review this video for clout. I also refuse to review this episode for rage engagement. And that's exactly why I am making this video. Kim Kardashian's All Fair is gonna end up like HBO Max's Velma. It could possibly get renewed for a second season if people will stop hate watching it. And that's exactly what happened to Velma. Velma was a horrible show. It was a Scooby-Doo show based on Velma, and it reimagined everything, and it was god awful because they tried too hard to be like South Park, Family Guy, and all these other shows. It was just horrible, plain and simple as that, and it did not deserve a second season. But what happened? Tons of people decided, hey, you know how we can get YouTube viewerships and clicks and views and likes and all this other stuff if we review every episode and hate about it. And that's what happened, and it got renewed. It also piqued people's curiosity who did not see this show and was kind of like, could it really be that bad? Hey, let's watch it. And then it got more viewership and got renewed for that. And this is exactly what is happening to Kim Kardashian's All Fair. Now, there are a bunch of YouTube videos that are popping up on my feed from YouTubers I have never seen or even heard from before. And I refuse to watch their videos when talking about this show All's Fair because I can kind of see what is going on. Now, there's this one YouTuber whose name I will not mention because I don't like mentioning YouTube people's names and stuff like that. I find it rude. Anyway, but I like her videos. I watch them from time to time. She talks about pop culture and celebrities I do not like. And so she decided to not only review this show, but like pretty much just like rant about Kim Kardashian. And I appreciated that because I don't like Kim Kardashian. And knowing my behind, if you know I don't like a celebrity, you know I'm going to talk bad about them. So get ready for that later on in the video. Because I don't like celebs and stuff like that. Anyway. And so she actually gave the show a fair critique and everything. And her video was somewhat long, maybe 20 minutes at the most and everything. And so like, and I've watched enough of her videos to know that she's not entirely biased. And that, you know, she generally likes a celebrity, with some celebrities she should not like, in my opinion. But then there are tons that she don't. And so I respect her opinion and stuff like that. She also uploaded clips, video clips from like the show. And I got to get a taste of what the show was about, the humor, the acting and stuff like that without having to watch this show. And so, of course, what happens when you do that? You watch one video about it and the algorithm says, hey, you want to watch more videos about that? So I did decide to watch a person who I'd never watched before. And the video was not that long. But the person also gave a pretty fair critique. So of course, what happened after that? The algorithms all like, oh, well, since you watched those two videos, here's a bunch of more people. So now here's a bunch of more random YouTubers that I never heard of before making videos about this. And I can already tell the scheme that is in hand. So the little scam that's going on right now is that you got a bunch of YouTubers who realize that people don't like this show. When the show debuted, it had a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is slowly climbing up, but critics don't like this show. However, the the audience meter or whatever is starting to rise and stuff. Why? Because Kim Kardashian actually has fans. She has millions of fans at that. I don't know why, but she does. Also, this show is star-studded with people and actresses who actually can act. You got Naomi Watts, you have Niecy Nash, Glenn Close, Sarah Paulson, that round out the main cast. People who should have been the lead of this show, but are technically supporting main cast members to that of one Kim Kardashian. You also have tons of celebrity guest appearances. Ed freaking O'Neill, Al Bundy himself, was on this show. I saw in the clip. Why, man? Why would you do this? I also saw Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell. Why? Why would you do this? Well, she ain't really doing much, so I can understand that. But why? Why would you do this? I think I even saw Emma Roberts, which that doesn't surprise me. Both her and Kim worked together on American Horror Story, and she's worked with Ryan Murphy tons of times, and she's worked with Niecy Nash and Sarah Paulson, so that makes sense. But there's a couple of other people who just appearing on this thing. I'm just like, why? Why are you doing this? Other than the fact to work with Ryan Murphy for like the millionth time and everything. And, so those people fan bases are watching this show. So that's valid and everything. But what is not valid is all the clout videos, all the rage engagement videos, people who are hate watching this just so they can get clicks, views, and likes on YouTube. And that's what's driving me nuts. A bunch of people who, when you watch these videos, first of all, you can always tell like the clout chasers or the rage engagement, because when you go through their portfolio or on their YouTube video, you don't see shows that are similar to this. So that tells you right then and there they're doing it for clout. Another way you can also tell is the type of person who's generally reviewing this. If it's like a nonchalant macho type man, or like a bigoted type man, or like a man who you would not I can't talk because it's cold right now. This cold front is cold and the heater is on, but it's still cold. Guys who you can tell just by looking at them and listening to them and how they talk and the sound of their voice normally would not like a show like this. Also, another and the most important one of all is their runtime. Now, there are some YouTubers who are very valid, who will make a short 5 to 8 minute video on like a movie or a TV show because they don't want to spend all their time on YouTube and they have a life, and like they probably got hundreds of other videos they got to push out. But those people are very, very rare. And with those 5 to 8 minute videos, even those legit ones don't really dissect the show or movie and to really get you to know what it's about. Normally a 20 to like 40 minute video, hour at the most. If something goes over like an hour or 2 hour, that's normally because they got a lot to say about a show or a movie, or they're reviewing multiple seasons and it takes up a lot of time, or they're reviewing multiple characters and going into depth, which can take up to an hour, 2 hour video. But normally if you see a 5 or 8 minute video on like even if it's like a whole season or an hour show or an hour episode or whatever, normally, and then accompanied by the thumbnail. The thumbnail is important. So if you see like a 5 to 8 minute video and you see a thumbnail of a celebrity that most people generally hate and everything, because all these thumbnails have Kim Kardashian's face on it, which because she is the main star. But she's also the most hated person on like the show, and it's weird. She's both hated and loved in the real world. You know what I'm saying? So that's another indication. And also the text. If you see something like WTF, what is this? Or like things I've been reading, like the worst show ever made, which that is a stretch, a huge reach to say about a show. And there are millions of other shows that were even more horrible and the worst show in the world. So if you see a video that's like 5 to 8 minutes long and you see the thumbnail has a hated like celebrity on there, or if they altered the celebrity's face to make googly eyes or a stupid expression, and the title being outrageous like WTF, or this show is garbage, or like the worst show ever made, or like who will watch this, or like stop trying to make Kim Kardashian like a star or something like that. It's normally a rage bait video or like a clout video, something to get engagement so that these people can get paid YouTube money. And so I tend to steer away from stuff like that. And those type of videos, yes, if these people are watching the show on the actual app, the Hulu or Disney Plus app, and not pirating it, then that's going to tell Hulu and Disney, hey, you like this show and we should renew it and everything. And that is the reason for this video I am making right now. Because of the simple fact, these people who's trying to get clout, who's trying to get clicks and views and likes and everything, they are watching this show most likely on the app. And that's going to tell Hulu and Disney that this show should get renewed. And if this show is as bad as everybody is saying, and pretty much part everybody's saying the exact same thing, nothing happened in the first 3 episodes, the jokes are not funny, Kim's acting is atrocious and everything as usual, then it's not worth watching and stuff like that. And the best way to get it canceled is just to not watch it. And you know, but of course, these YouTubers, they want their money and everything, because for some people, YouTube's a part-time job. Some people, it's a full-time job, and other people, it's just a hobby. And these people who depend on the money so they can pay their rent or pay their bills or buy a brand new collectible toy and everything, they're gonna do as much as they can to get you to want to watch their video for the engagement. And I say, do not, if you want to watch their video, fine, watch their video. But if you watch their video, then that tells them that, hey, they should keep watching this show and it's gonna get renewed. And they hope that it's gonna get renewed because of the simple fact that they can, of course, engage and get YouTube money. So stop watching those videos. Stop watching this show if you do not like it. Because if you do not like a show, what the point in even ranting about it? So I fear that if this show is as bad as everybody is saying it is, that is going to get renewed for multiple seasons because people are engaging with it just so they can get YouTube money. And then those people who watch those YouTube videos are going to be all like, well, how bad can this show be? Let me check it out. And then you're going to give it viewership and then it's going to get renewed. Don't do it. Now, I got a rant about Kim Kardashian because I just don't like this woman. And that's valid because of the simple fact, like, I have a legit reason as to why I'm about to rant about her. It's not about every other thing she's done in the past. It's simply about this whole lawyer thing and this show. So if you've lived under a rock for over 20 something years, then you know Kim Kardashian has no talent other than just being a model. And she's a good model, and that's what she should stick to. But here's the thing. Of course, we all know what happened. Her mom is a trophy wife. Her mom married a rich lawyer. That is how the family first became rich, and they sponged off him. Then when that marriage fell through, or he passed away, because he is deceased, may he rest in peace, because he was famous for trying the O.J. Simpson trial, because he was friends with O.J. and so was the family. So anyway, after that went away, then the mom went and married another famous person who is now known as Caitlyn Jenner. I can't stand that person, but used to be called Bruce Jenner back when she was a man and was an Olympic like hero. And when you win those gold medals, you get paid a lot of money. So they sponged off that person for a while. Then all of a sudden, Kim Kardashian started to hang around Paris Hilton. And this was when Paris Hilton was in her heyday and everything, after her sex tape and stuff. Everybody was trying to, like, you know, hop on that and get famous and stuff. And people's all like, okay, Paris Hilton's hot, but who the heck is your friend? And that's kind of how this all got started. So, of course, paparazzi started taking her pictures and everything and started to make her famous because of that. In a way, in comes Ray J, Brandy's brother. Sex tape was made and the rest is history. And it was a boring sex tape too. Like, my God, like actresses in the 90s can do a better sex scene than that. Anyway, but that was made her famous, that sex tape. So in came Ryan something, Seacrest or something like that, and gave her her own reality show. Her entire family sponged off of that, and they became famous and rich and started to explore other avenues and stuff. So anyway, when it comes to this show, why does she have this show? Well, Kim Kardashian has been trying to be a lawyer for about 6 years now. And it's taking a real long time because she keeps failing stuff, mainly her tests. And why exactly does she want to be a lawyer? Well, I don't know, because I don't watch interviews with her. If she's explained why, then that's the reason why. If she hasn't, then it's just typical Kim Kardashian. But her father was a famous lawyer, so most likely she idolizes him and wants to be one because of him. Or maybe because she knows she has no talent and she's tired of people saying that, and so she's all like, look how smart I am, I'm a lawyer. There's really no telling when it comes to her, because you can't believe everything she says, because her family is horrible and they love to lie. She's lied about her butt being real for like feels like 100 years, but then we all found out, yeah, it is fake, along with the rest of her. So she worked with Ryan Murphy on American Horror Story, and that's because she was on SNL and people thought her acting was good. I did not, but it caused her to date Pete Davidson and everything. That was headlines. They broke up. Then American Horror Story came around and people said she actually did a good job. I don't know, because I did not watch that and I refuse to watch that. So years later passed by and she's still trying to be a lawyer, and it just has not worked out. So she went from trying to be a real lawyer to playing a fake one on television. Now, when it comes to her being a lawyer, she has admitted she's failed her test about 4 times. It's called studying, all right? And she's using ChatGPT or whatever it's called to study. Why would you do that? Just actually study. That tells me right there she is not taking this seriously. She's also now revealed that, like, she's talked to 4 psychics who told her she was going to pass the test and she did not. And it's like, that tells me she's not taking this seriously, because she's listening to what a psychic is saying. And psychics are fake. They code read people. Basically, you know, it's just like they ask you a question, they hear one thing, and then they start asking you more stuff that revolves around it, to eventually you start telling them everything they want to hear. That is pathetic if she's listening to a psychic. And what kind of good lawyer is she going to be if she's using GT or whatever it's called, and if she's listening to psychics? She is not taking this seriously, and she does not deserve to be a lawyer. The woman literally doesn't believe that Americans went to the moon. She doesn't believe actual historical fact in video, but she believes a psychic. That tells me she does not deserve to be a lawyer. This woman also admitted she doesn't know how much the price of milk cost. That tells you how famous and spoiled she is. This is how rich and famous this woman is. She does not understand the average person. If you don't know how much milk costs, you don't understand people. So why the world would you want to represent them and stuff like that? And most likely, if she was to become a lawyer, her name would probably cause her to win all her cases. If not, bribery, probably. Heck, I don't know. But she doesn't deserve to be a lawyer because of the simple fact she just does not have that skill set. And she should just continue being a model. So, to help further her career as wanting to be a real lawyer, here comes Ryan Murphy giving her her own law show. I guess this is to make people assume, hey, she does have what it takes. But she doesn't, because those clips I saw on YouTube are atrocious. First of all, her face does not move because it is filled to the brim and everything with filler and Botox and all this other crap. And having that surgery that pushes your face back to make yourself not have wrinkles and everything. Her lips are very bloated. Her cheeks are very bloated. Her eyes are popping out really huge, and none of this stuff is real and everything. And it's causing her acting to not emote with her expressions and stuff. And if your face cannot emote, then you are giving a bad performance. But plus, her line delivery is very static because she is not a trained actress. She started acting back after her reality show came out because of the sex tape. And she was in some movie, I think it was called like Epic Movie or something like that. And people hated her acting ever since because she cannot act. Neither can Courtney with the whole, oh snap, from like that soap opera she guest starred on. Like it, you have to watch it. Just go to YouTube, go to Courtney Kardashian soap opera or oh snap or something like that. It's But Kim Kardashian acting range just simply is not there. She has no range. She does not have the ability to convey like sentiment. She does not have the acting charisma. She does not have the ability to make you truly want to feel what it is she is saying or what's going on around in the environment, because she is not technically trained. She's just some debutante who's all like, I just want to keep being famous. And then they just keep putting her and stuff. And she wants to be on TV and she wants to continue being super rich. She has enough money as it is. And it really pisses me off because I'm a person who appreciates good acting ability. And there are so many former actresses that like are some of my all-time favorites from shows and movies I watched before in the past, and Hollywood will not cast them in nothing no more because they've hit a certain like age, or because they was really famous on that past show that people can't see them past that. And some of them are very young and Hollywood just won't cast them because they were on that popular show or movie and Hollywood just won't cast them no more. Or they've had a couple of flops and Hollywood's just like, no, thank you. But this woman does not have it. She does not. And Hollywood just wants to keep banking on her because she has that huge fan base and she looks the way she does, so they want to like hire her and crap. But she doesn't have charisma. She doesn't have range. She doesn't have sentiment. She doesn't have emotion. She's just nothing but just there to stare at. And that's not good enough for me and stuff. And so, like, her acting is just bad on the show. You know what I'm saying? From just the clips I watched. And even just the promotional pictures or, like, a freeze frame of, like, her acting. She's not acting, she's modeling. When she stares into the camera, she is modeling. That is not acting. She does not know how to act. And if she does not know how to act, why are people watching this show? Now, of course, her fans are going to watch because they're stands. They're going to just eat up everything she has. You know what I'm saying? But it's like this role should have went to a more talented actress. But yes, this is just like my little video about why you should stop trying to watch like this show if you wanted to get canceled. You don't watch, no views, no views, no renewal. It is as simple as that. Alrighty, well, I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.